All right, now that the 2023 draft is over, let's take a look at how the Dallas Cowboys did. From what I've gathered, a lot of fans don't seem to be too happy. We'll see if that's fair, or if Jerry Jones went off the deep end. All right, let's get right into it. With their first round pick, the Dallas Cowboys select Mazi Smith, a defensive tackle out of Michigan. I love this pick for the Cowboys, I'm not gonna lie. Smith was mostly mocked as a very early second rounder, but he's still a good value here at the end of the first round. His athleticism isn't just freakish, he's basically a straight up freak. He was number 1 on the Bruce Feldman freak list. The comparisons to Dontari Poe make sense. Just like Poe, he's coming out of college with more of a run-stopping background. Smith and Poe actually had pretty similar sack production in college. Over the course of his 3 years, Poe had 5 sacks and Smith had 6. Poe would end up doubling his sack production in 3 seasons in the NFL, getting 10. So it's not unreasonable to think that Smith could eventually become a good pass rusher. And even if he doesn't, he still fills a really important role for the Cowboys, which is a run-stopping defensive tackle that'll help open things up for Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. His stats might not be eye-popping next year, and people might start criticizing him for that, but I think his mere presence could be a huge catalyst for a strong defense in 2023. Overall, I give this pick an A- because of how it solves a problem with a high upside talent. With their second round pick, they take another Michigan product, tight end Luke Schoonmaker, or is it Schoonmaker? I forgot to check. This pick has drawn a mixed reaction, and I think it's because his biggest drawback really is his name, which makes him sound like an unathletic tight end, which he definitely is not. He ran a 4.63 in the 40, which is pretty great for someone who's 6'5 and 250 pounds. Another knock on him is the fact that he didn't really produce at the college level, but that's kind of a problem for a lot of tight ends. I just wouldn't assume that he can't at the next level. Worst case scenario, he's an excellent blocker. But regardless, I do really think he's got a solid floor. I think he's going to be a very good starting tight end for a while. Just, don't be expecting George Kittle or anything like that. I give this pick a B. You'd like to get a bit more high upside here, but realistically, he wasn't going to last until the next round. In the third round, Dallas Cowboys take Demarvion Overshown, a linebacker out of Texas. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Overshown is an ex-safety who's converted to linebacker in college. I know it's crazy, but unlike a guy like Marte Mapu, who doesn't really have much tape in this regard, Overshown actually did play linebacker in college, and from what he showed, he definitely seems like the kind of guy that Dan Quinn covets in his defense. Mainly, he's got good sideline-to-sideline range, and he's got good instincts. Also, he showed nice improvement from year to year, which is a good sign. Also, he's going to be able to contribute on special teams right away, which definitely adds some value. I give this one a B. It's a little high for a weak side linebacker, but he's got a lot of potential and he can contribute on special teams, so I don't think it was a bad pick by any means. In the fourth round, the Cowboys took Villiami Fehoko out of San Jose State. It's hard to find edge rushers outside of the first round, but Fehoko fits the profile of the kind of guy who slips but ends up having a good pro career. He's almost definitely not going to be a stud, but just a solid rotational guy, but he has inside-out versatility, so it's worth it at this point. Though I should mention, he's not exactly a dud athletically either. NFL.com had him 7th athletic score-wise for his position. I give this pick a B-. It's not a lot of upside here, but the floor is there. And that's kind of what you want out of a 4th rounder, so I don't think it was a bad pick by any means, just not an exciting one. In the 5th round, the Cowboys took Asim Richards, a tackle out of North Carolina. Richards has a lot of college playing time, so you know what you're getting. He's likely a swing tackle with some upside to become a starter. He does meet the requirements arm length-wise, but his athleticism might not be there. He could potentially kick out the guard and be less exposed. Considering the Cowboys' track record of developing linemen, I wouldn't sleep on this guy. I give this pick a solid B. The Cowboys traded up to take Eric Scott Jr., a cornerback out of Southern Miss. Not a lot out there on this guy, so it's interesting to see the Cowboys saw it fit to trade up. But was it a reach? Maybe. But I definitely get why they went after him. He's 6'1 and almost 200 pounds with great vertical and broad jump numbers and a wingspan above the average for NFL corners. And of course, Dan Quinn, with his history with big, long corners, you can understand why they wanted to trade up and get him. Overall, I give this pick an A-. It's a good, high-ceiling pick, and there's a good chance he doesn't pan out, of course, but he's, at this point, a lottery pick, and you can't win if you don't play. With their second 6th-round pick, the Cowboys select Deuce Vaughn, a running back out of Kansas State. Honestly, he's my favorite player in this draft to watch. He's just so entertaining. His upside is limited, but man, he's fun to watch. Obviously, he's going to have some issues transitioning to the pro game with his size, but I still think he has potential as a satellite back. He does have a strong build for his tiny size. I can see it being legitimately difficult for tacklers to get low enough to hit him. Of course, if they do manage to hit him, he might not have a long career, but he's definitely a big play threat. I give this pick a B+. He'll find a role in the NFL. All right, with their last pick, the Cowboys take Jalen Brooks. He's a ball-winning receiver without much athletic upside. I think NFL.com had him 47th in his class, but he flashes strong hands on tape. Measurables wise, he does have above average arm length, so I guess that's pretty good. I can kind of understand where the Cowboys are coming from with this one. Still, I give this pick a C. I would have preferred someone with a little bit more upside. I think overall I give this draft a B+. I really like the addition of Mazi Smith. I think he's going to have a really big impact on that defense. And Schoonmaker gives them a really deep tight end rotation. Not to mention they added some upside with Overshown and Brooks. I admit it's not the flashiest draft and they didn't come out with any of the biggest names, but the Cowboys have definitely shown they can develop some good draft classes, so we'll see. But most importantly, Cowboys fans, what did you guys think of the draft? Let me know in the comments. Give me your favorite players, worst players, grades, anything goes. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you could, pass it around. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching.